Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, MIL has picked the stupidest hill to die on. Husband has had enough of MIL's shenanigans. JustNoMil comes across country for uninvited visit. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. MIL has picked the stupidest hill to die on. Hi all. It's been a very long time since I felt the need to post here, but I always knew I'd be returning. To summarize my past with my MIL, she's a narcissistic, manipulative woman. Luckily my husband saw the light throughout the engagement, and everything is great on that front. We've been happily married for close to 5 years. My husband and I have had a hard time conceiving for a couple of years. We finally went to a specialist, did a few rounds of fertility treatments, and got a positive result. I'm currently 21 weeks pregnant with our daughter. We've kept our struggles pretty much to ourselves, besides a few trusted friends/family, because it's a really private and upsetting thing. H's family was not in the know. We told them around 13 weeks that we were expecting. The whole time we've known/hadn't told them, I've been very anxious about sharing the news. Nonetheless, I gave them the same treatment my lovely parents got, including the same pregnancy announcement and timing. My DH believed that his family learned their lesson from the very contentious engagement/wedding. I was not, and actually cried the whole drive to their house to do the announcement. When we told them, the first thing MIL talked about was how she was going to have another shower to plan, Sael is getting married in NOV. We kindly asked her to include my mom in the planning. She completely ignored us. We went over on Easter, and one of my Sael informed DH that they were planning a surprise shower. Anyone that knows me knows I hate surprises. DH kindly reminded her to include my mom. No answer. DH then texted his mom the next day asking her to include my mom, yet again, and instead received a text outlining how rude my mom is and how terrible we are for expecting his family to be subjected to including her when she was so horrible to them during my bridal shower. I spoke to several of my bridesmaids and my mom, and the only thing we can come up with is that my mom stood up for what I wanted for the bridal shower, small, laid back, potluck type thing, rather than letting MIL do what she wanted, large, fancy restaurant, etc. DH reiterated that it must have been a misunderstanding and that my mom would never be outright rude or mean and that we would not be attending a shower where my mom was nor included. Now MIL is going around telling everyone that we are horrible and ungrateful because we are throwing her kind gesture back in her face, thus poisoning his family against us. We won't bother to throw our own shower, as my family is very small in this area and DH's family won't cross MIL because she's the victim. MIL has reached out and said she wanted to meet up to talk about how we won't let her throw a shower because we're family, but didn't bother to answer when my husband informed her that we did not say that she could not throw a shower, only that we wanted her to include my family. So, that's where we are. We have a wedding this weekend with that side of the family, so it should be a fun time. On the bright side, my husband is handling all of this on his own volition, and has really stepped up. The presents would be nice, but we are not willing to back down to her manipulations. The dumb thing is that MIL is really shooting herself in the foot by doing this. My mom had previously said that MIL could come visit our daughter when my mom was watching her. Obviously, that offer has been rescinded. Now she's risking never seeing her only grandchild over getting to do what she wants for a freaking shower. How dumb can you possibly be? Ugh. Word of advice. Call her after you deliver that baby and have had time to rest. She will barge in and take over, trust me. If you really want to blow her mind, find someone else you like in the family, an aunt or cousin, at the wedding this weekend and have DH ask, preferably in front of others, if they would help your mom plan your shower because MIL refuses to help or invite our family to a shower if she can't control it entirely. Get your own story out among his relatives. Make sure he mentions it to everyone he talks to. Yeah, Mom is acting really crazy. My wife's mom is trying to throw a joint baby shower, but Mom swears if any of wife's family is involved, she won't be. It's okay if she doesn't want to come, but I love my family and want to celebrate with y'all, so we're just going to have to go ahead and see if Mom comes around. Don't let there be an elephant in the room. Tackle it head on and just act puzzled that she's being this way. Emphasize that you too feel sorry for her because she clearly has something going on with her, but you're sure she'll deal with it in her own time. In the meantime, by doing this, you're not letting her control your access to family. DH is perfectly capable of inviting his relatives. In fact, inviting them in person would make it harder for them to say no for shitty reasons. Make sure he's collecting contact info at the wedding so you guys can reach out to invitees directly. Don't let MIL gatekeep. She wants attention and she wants things the way she wants them. Deny her the attention and the drama by just shrugging her off with some faux concern and act like her tantrum doesn't matter. Don't let her hold your life events hostage. So happy that DH is handling his family. If anyone says anything to you and DH while at the wedding, play dumb. Wedding guest, I'm so sad for MIL that you won't let her plan a shower. OP, what? What are you talking about? We gave MIL my mom's hashtag and asked that the two of them plan a shower. Haven't heard a thing since. Say that enough times and MIL's extended family will start to see the holes in her story. This would be my play also. The happier and more positive you are, the more MIL looks like a wacko. And people will talk. If someone is so awful you cry on the way to announce such a joyous event, that person shouldn't be around you or your child. I'd be willing to bet MIL planned on inviting people you've never met or heard of only in passing. They always do this. It's so weird to the point they invite people they barely hang out with themselves, and it's always at someone else's event. Possibly useful thought. Traditionally, etiquette frowned on family members throwing showers. It was felt to look too much like a gift grab. Do you have a girlfriend or two who would organize the kind of low-key, casual event you'd like? Tell MIL, I've discovered that Miss Manners says family shouldn't throw showers, so Erica and Becky are going to do it. They will, of course, invite both families. Why, yes, I did grow up reading Amy Vanderbilt's complete book of etiquette for fun. Why do you ask? I honestly have never heard of this. Everyone I know has had their mom host the baby shower. That's very interesting. Maybe I'll try to get a few friends together, and obviously help if they want it, to host. That's a great idea. MIL may think she picked her hill to die on, but in reality she dug her own grave, laughing face. It's crazy how, as parents get older, they seem to hold more and more of a grudge, made up ones at that. She felt slighted from a bridal shower more than 5 years ago? Come on now, grow up. Congratulations on the little one. Big ups to DH for having a strong backbone with his mother. Exactly. MIL is a master at manipulation, so I think this story was the best she could come up with to get people to feel bad for her. I really don't understand picking this as her last stand, but my DH is being amazing and handling everything to keep me from stressing too much. Thank you for the congrats. We're so excited and terrified. LOL. Start communicating with the rest of the family directly instead talking to MIL and letting her present it to the rest of the family any way she wants. Husband has had enough of MIL's shenanigans. This morning my husband saw that my mom posted pictures she was sent of our kids on Easter. She posted them with a caption saying sorry, not sorry, knowing that we have asked everyone in our family not to post pictures of our kids online. He and I were very angry at seeing this and felt like her juvenile comment was as though receiving a direct slap in the face, another sign of her disrespect and disregard for us as parents. Husband has always had a hard time putting up with my mom's entitled, narcissistic behavior that has only gotten worse since she became a grandmother. As an example, I wanted to do a 30-day confinement after my first for various reasons. When I told my mom, she replied, "You can't keep the baby away from me, I'm the grandma." even emotionally extorting visits with us during the pandemic, when she and my stepfather chose not to get vaccinated themselves, because my pop is almost 95 and isn't going to be around much longer, so this could be the last chance he has to see the kids. Well, after this morning, it was the straw that broke the camel's back, and he sent my mom a lengthy message that enough is enough. She has at this point shown both of us, but more importantly me, so much disrespect through the years that he has told her not to contact us anymore. She doesn't seem to be taking him seriously, and even claimed that I told her it was okay to post the pictures, which is 100% false. Update: just to respond to multiple commenters in one place and provide more info, I have spent most of my young adult and adult life trying to handle my mom and her issues. I did so on my own for many years and, more recently, with assistance from my therapist. Conversations, letters, and numerous other methods of getting the same message across have been unsuccessful. She believes rules do not apply to her. In any context, but especially with her children whom she doesn't accept are adults and parents in their own right. She believes that her needs and wants come first, always. Before my husband took any action at all, he asked me if he could step in support of me, knowing that my mom has a way of manipulating me into backing off on some of the boundaries. So she has a history of getting her way with me. We decided we weren't going to let that happen this time. Granted, I may not have expected my husband would take such a hardline stance and ask for no contact. However, lesser things have not indicated to her that there is need for her to change her ways. All this being said, we are waiting for her to take this demand seriously, as she is showing signs of not believing that we are cutting off contact for the time being. I'm not sure how I will react when she decides to reach out to me directly. On the one hand, I know that I need to have a backbone and show her that we mean business when it comes to the boundaries we have in place to protect our family from different potential threats. On the other hand, she's my mom and I want her to be a part of our lives, hence giving her 9 lives to allow her opportunities to show us that she does respect our wishes as parents. I just hope with my husband's support and that of my friends and you lovely people that I can hold my ground as she tries to claw her way back. What are you going to do? It's your mom and your responsibility to give consequences for disrespecting your husband. It's great that DH is standing up to her, but you need to jump in on that and present a united front. Yeah. Honestly, I feel for your husband. She is your mother and you should have cut her out a long time ago. There are legal processes in place when she doesn't believe rules apply to her. She is your problem. You're on a very fine line of being a JustNoMil yourself. She doesn't take you seriously because you're not serious about it. You cave and she gets her way. You have trained her that her methods work. Stop responding. Block her. Period. You may be a JustNoMil. Your husband has put up with enough. Time to enforce your boundaries as a couple around your family together. Your mother has been playing stupid games and has won a very stupid prize. Sorry, not sorry, what a smartarse. You may want to consider what happens if you do not work with your husband on protecting your family. He seems to believe in consequences. Are you prepared for your relationship to be the consequence? You could hardly blame him if you keep enabling your mother in her extremely disrespectful behavior. Report the posts to the platform she's posting on. A lot of them now have ways to take down photos of minors that parents did not give permission to share. It sounds like it's time that you stop giving in to her demands. Do not send any photos or share any information. She doesn't get to dictate when she sees your children, you do. And it sounds like your husband has your back on this. Make a united front and start putting up and enforcing boundaries. I don't think you are taking this seriously. Doesn't even matter if she is or not. She's shown to be dishonest, unreasonable, childish, and untrustworthy. Would you let a stranger do the things to your child and yourself that your mom does? So, have you blocked her everywhere? Does she have access to any way to communicate with you? If so, of course she won't take it seriously because you can't follow through with your words. This means everything to your child, because parents who say one thing and do another as well as don't follow through with what they say are abusive to children. I'm dead serious. Say what you mean what you say and stick to it for your child's sake. And for goodness sake, please protect your child from this hole you call a mom. She's a literal child who isn't much of a mother. I'm not sure how I will react when she decides to reach out to me directly. I can answer this for you, your response is nothing. You need to send any and everything from her to a trash folder. Do not bother to open them or answer her calls, block her phone numbers. I would take a further step and let your entire family know that anyone who enabled your mom will join her in the total block list. OP: the easiest and best response is none. Your mom wants a response and craves it. By you not responding, not only will your life be calmer and your mom will not get the normal response she wants. OP: if you do not totally block her, just know you will end up going back and taking this again. JustNoMil comes across country for uninvited visit. I, 38F, have been married for 12.5 years to husband, 38M. My relationship with MIL has been rocky from start. When you read the clinical definition of narcissist, she fits it perfectly. Everything is about her, she cares about the image others see far more than she cares about the actual quality of life. Social media likes and adoration are her currency. We moved to Florida for my job about 9 years ago, and they shortly moved down too. We warned them that we didn't know how long we'd live there, but that my job is the kind that doesn't tend to be permanent in one place forever. We moved away nearly 3 years ago, and that set off a very public meltdown of epic proportions. She said to any and all, both on public social media and to anyone who would listen, that her grandchildren were being stolen by my job. Truly, she interfered with very higher-ups in my career field. It was bad. And we decided that was it. We had ridden the roller coaster of her nonsense for long enough. We went and see. This was final straw after years of drama and rug sweeping and ignoring our boundaries. We have small children who are JustNoMil's only grands. I want her to have some kind of relationship with them, so we allow our oldest daughter, 10, to email her and very occasionally the kids FaceTime. Husband and I monitor call but do not participate. Last summer, IELTS traveled over 1,300 miles to our area and emailed us, demanding a visit. We declined and told them sorry you drove all this way without an invite. Husband used direct wording that they were not permitted on our property or to see our children. They drove by slowly one day and took pictures of our house. Then they sent to us. So creepy. They've now told our kids they're coming to visit this summer. Pressing the kids about their summer schedule. DH says there's nothing to do but wait and deny them access when they arrive. I want to tell them do not bother coming. Help! Update: well, you all are brutal, but it did help me snap out of my delusion that she can somehow relate to them. My husband sent an email saying 1. The emotionally manipulative interactions with the kids would not be tolerated. 2. They will not be visiting and have no access to any of us, and no permission to approach our home or any of us. 3. They are not to contact the kids. Thanks for the blunt reality check. Why on earth are you letting these psychos communicate with your kids when you, yourselves, are NC? Why aren't you protecting your kids from this dysfunction? I agree 100%. It is obvious that MIL has a screw loose. She should not have any contact with the kids. Requests for visiting should come through OP and their spouse. OP: I read what you wrote. There is no relationship that is worth the stress, or the mental and emotional abuse and stress that the JustNoMil and JustPhil are doing to you and your husband. The moment that they threaten or interfere with your job, the moment that CPS shows up or mentioned, the moment that they mention GPS, the moment that they mention about lawyers, the relationship is officially overdone and dead. That means no more contact between them and the children. You see, as long as you allowed the children to have that FaceTime or to be in contact with the JustNoMil, she is not going to change her behavior, and now you and your husband are stressed out. Now that being said, here is the other thing. How many cameras do you have up? How about Ring camera? And here is the big thing for you and your husband. Are both of you prepared to call the cops on the JustNoMil and the JustNFil? From the way you have posted, chances are they are not going to listen to what they are told, and will show up, so you both need to make plans already. One set of plans would be to make plans to travel if you have vacation, where they show up to a locked up, empty house. Or better yet, move out for a few, and then have someone in the area, that you know, that they do not know, to live there at your home for a while. That way when they show up, knocking on the door, the person there can say, your family no longer lives there, has moved away, unknown location. That would cause them to leave and then try to reach out and go through your social media and so forth. Just saying. I want her to have some kind of relationship with them. Why? She has proven to be a toxic narcissist. You as an adult can't handle her. Why would you put your children in a position to interact with someone who is unhealthy? It sounds like she may be going for grandparent rights. So be careful. Speak to a therapist who specializes in narcs and see what they think about exposing your children to one of them. They are grooming your kids. From experience. They truly believe the kids will come to them when they get older and see you, and are doing everything they can to engineer that happening. I would start lessening contact with your children. At first, I wouldn't make it obvious to the children. Just keep them so busy they don't have the time. Also from experience. My kids got back in touch after they were grown. My JN quickly pulled same stuff on them she had pulled on me as a young adult. Same manipulative guilting and controlling BS. The thing is, my kids were not raised with that. I specifically worked on raising them to set and maintain appropriate boundaries. They went and see with my folks in short order. Of course, that's all my fault with the JNs, too. My friend who a therapist had issues with her mom. Her mom was literally following them around the country for work. Straw finally broke, but they wanted to allow the kids to still see grandma. Grandma caused a lot of mental issues. They had to cut grandma off from the kids as well. Grandma gone, but the nightmares of being kidnapped are still there. Kidnapped? OMG. That must have been a nightmare for the family and the kids. They've now told our kids they're coming to visit this summer. How are they in direct contact with your children? That is a privilege, and she has lost it after showing up without an invitation and creeping outside your house like a sicko stalker. Not cool. Not cool at all. I'm sorry, I don't understand why you and your husband are NC but not your children. You and DH deemed her too toxic to have any kind of relationship with, and your children are not immune to that. I can understand wanting your children to have grandparents, but toxic is toxic. They might be great grandparents, but not really, because they don't respect the parents or accept boundaries. You have a responsibility to protect your children against toxic people and teach them about what's acceptable behavior and what's expected of the people we allow into our lives, how we expect people to treat us. Her behavior isn't normal, they should know that. Allowing them to continue having a relationship with her sets things up for a lot of bad outcomes: grandparent rights, parental alienation, stalking, emotional abuse, and manipulation. Your children might one day decide to go NC, but in order to get there, they'd have to deal with a lot of her bullshit and abuse. If it were me, I'd want my children to be older before deciding if they want to pursue a relationship with her and risk NC. Time to get a family law attorney to serve them with a cease and desist letter. OP wishing you and your immediate family a safe and peaceful summer. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.